Hello everyone, Ash here from Fluffy Welsh Geeks. Thanks for clicking and listening. I did say that the Let's Play is going to be back this week, and they are. It's just going to be 4 episodes. We're finishing off Sonic Forces, me and Mike, so that'll be starting tomorrow through till Friday. I was only going to talk about one show today, but I thought I'd sneak in another one, because I did watch them over the weekend. I know one is more recent than the other, but they came out this month, so yeah, I'll chat about it. Um, let's save the best to the last. So I'm going to chat about this little one on the right. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. Both of these were Netflix original shows, and I, for both of them, I don't see the point in why they were done as series. That's what I hate. Um, let's start with Resident Evil. As you can probably tell by my face, it's kind of like, what was the point? That's kind of my reaction to it. So Resident Evil, for those who are unaware, it's one of the most well-known survival horror game series ever. It's been making great comeback recently with Resident Evil 7 and 8. Um, it's a staple. It's like whenever somebody thinks of survival horror, okay, some people might think of Silent Hill, for example, but Resident Evil is the go-to one. It's just, I think people like it for different reasons. They could like it for the horror, they could like it for the monsters, the action, just the simple gameplay. Uh, I like it just for the insane story, and just the crazy out there premise. I love it. Um, I do own quite a few of the games, and I've only ever completed two in my entire life. Code Veronica X and 5. um, I have got all the others. I just haven't got around to them because I'm too scared. Which I think is a good thing. I think if a horror game or a horror film makes you too scared to want to watch it or play it, then I think it's doing a good job. And then it's up to you to decide whether or not it was good to begin with if you do eventually get around to watching it. So yeah, Resident Evil. It a few years ago, I think it was right about the time for, no, it might have been 5 or 6 came out. They did make some CG films, and they were terrible, really, really bad. And yeah, oh god, what were they like? GD Generation or something? I don't know, stupid names. But I don't know, they were hit and miss because sometimes the monsters were fun and the action was okay. I mean, the last CG film that was out had two of the main characters meeting, and there was kind of like this John Wick style gun action scene between them two and zombies. The clip's on YouTube somewhere. You can watch it if you don't believe me. Um, but yeah, the games always put you in one location that you explore and you interact with certain characters and things about the story, things going around you. The main story that goes on around you is slowly discovered. Whereas these films are like putting you in places, they're taking you all around the globe, and they're putting politics in there, government stuff. Oh, I don't see the point. I don't like it. Just stick me in like an insane asylum, a lab, a haunted mansion. I don't know, something really spooky. Yeah, it kind of takes the horror element. These that's what these films have done. They've taken the horror element out, which thankfully the games now have put back in with 7 and 8. Um, but yeah, this is 5 episodes. Yeah, 5 episodes. They're like 20-25 minutes long. So you could have got away. Yeah, I would say you. I mean, you could even got took stuff out, and you would have like hour and a half, 2 hour film. So why they did it in a series, I do not know. It was pointless. I watched it in an evening. Um, I wasn't scared. Um, wasn't wasn't grossed out. Wasn't laughing. intentionally or unintentionally. Um, God, what was the story? Um, I can't even remember the story. So the two guys you got here, my face is on Leon Kennedy. Um, he was from Resident Evil 2, 4, and 6. And then you got Claire Redfield on the right. She was in Resident Evil 2, Code Veronica X. And I think she was in the Revelations games. They meet up and oh my god, trying to think about the freaking plot. It's like searching for a needle in a haystack in a pitch black room, blindfolded. Oh god. It again. It's something to do with government, presidents, stuff, and it's just not needed. And there's zombies in it, in like for like I would say all around all the added up scenes with zombies in didn't even come to 5 minutes, and there's one big monster in it at the end, and I thought, right, okay, the last episode they're probably saving all the action, the big chases, the big monster transformation until the very end, which makes sense. And yeah, they do that. The monster is shown, and all he's trying to do is break out of this underground massive lab that is slowly being flooded, I think, by acid. I think. Um, and he's just trying to dig through the ceiling to break up through onto the surface to reveal himself to this press conference that the president of the United States is doing, so he can reveal the conspiracy that this guy in the government did something to do with releasing a T virus thing. Now, see, if you've never played the games, if you've never seen the films, the CG films, the stupid live action ones, you do not have a clue what the hell is going on. And yeah, his action scene, his big action scene with this giant monster, is him just trying to dig himself out. He jumps up and down. They shoot at him. He falls off, and Leon shoots his arm off, and then his top half of his body lands on like a spike, and he talks for a bit, and then he falls into the acid. It was terrible. It was boring. They even try to build atmosphere in some scenes. Claire goes to this shack. There's an interesting. There's a potentially good scene at the beginning in the first episode where Leon is hired by. This is the same president as well, whose daughter you went to rescue in Resident Evil 4, the game. So he's brought in, and there's some sort of zombie infestation in the warehouse in the White House, and I thought, oh, is this entire series going to take place in the White House, and we're going to find just crazy plot twist that there's some sort of secret lab under the White House. You see all these talks of underground tunnels and old escape routes for the White House for old presidents. What if Umbrella or some other biochemical company or whatever they're called, like, took over the White House secretly and were putting zombies and making all these monsters and creatures into the White House? That would be insane. That would be really entertaining, but they don't do that. I was really gutted. So yeah, that was a potential thing wasted. Claire, I'm annoyed what they do with Claire, because she, as far as I'm aware, I don't know what the backstory is. She's the sister of Chris Redfield, who's like the awesome super soldier guy. But she's shown she can handle herself. She can use a gun. She can drive a bike. She survived Raccoon City. She survived the big thing in Resident Evil 2. I mean, God, she was the main character for majority of Code Veronica X. So she's awesome. She's badass. In this, she's going around trying to raise money for schools for this fictional country that I think is attached to China. Yeah. Now you listening to me, you're probably thinking, what the hell is he blabbering on about? And it goes to show that I wasn't paying much attention, because my interest was just it was starting to get lost. I just wanted to vent. I just had to talk about it and get it out there. It's terrible. It's really, really bad. It's pointless. I mean, after Resident Evil 8 Village got released this year, and it got such a great review, it got such a good reaction. just for atmosphere, action, gameplay, horror, creature design, just grossness. Classic survival horror Resident Evil. And we got this. And they're even like remake they're apparently doing another live action film. No, actually, I think they're doing a series and a film. Um and I have no idea what they're about. Mike has said this before because Mike is a big Resident Evil fan and he knows a lot about it. Um, and we've even discussed it, and he pointed out, the games have set up a plot. It's there, ready to go. All you got to do is adapt those games. Obviously, change it around for a 2 hour runtime, and you could take stuff out, obviously. But it's there. Just tweak it about a bit. They keep adding stuff, adding characters, changing things, changing plots and settings, and it's just not needed. They're messing with something that they're trying to fix something that's not broken. They're trying to improve on something that's that's fine as it is. I don't know. I hate it. Yeah. So Resident Evil: Infinite Darkness. If you're a fan of video games, especially if you're a fan of Resident Evil games, don't watch these. I mean, as much as I hate the live action films, I mean, they were somewhat funny. Like I laughed at those at least for how bad they were. There was no reaction for this. It was terrible. I had seen Mike before I watched this, and I did ask him, "Have you watched it?" And he just looked at me and shook his head, and I was like, "Okay, I know what I'm in for." So, Mike, if you're listening to this, I totally understand. I feel your pain. I have suffered. I've done it. But yeah, it's terrible. Um, on a lighter note, Masters of the Universe Revelation. This such just a flip side to what I was watching. Um, it just look at that poster. Look at it, so gorgeously hand drawn. I'm very tempted to get that as a poster. Very tempted. And this is coming from someone who never grew up with He-Man and that cartoon. Um, I grew up with 90s cartoons, so looking back on it was a very awkward 90s time. Radical, bodacious, excellent. It was all this kind of stuff, and the 80s I kind of missed out on. So you had like Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, Transformers, and I knew about them, and I would sometimes see them on reruns. But for me, I know some people are like this, where they put off watching something and even playing something because of the look of it, the art design, not the age of say graphics. I still play PS2 games and all sorts, so I still play games like that. But as long as it's enjoyable and it's fun. But like, yeah, watching something like this, like if ever I see clips of the original Masters of the Universe He-Man cartoon, I'm just like, nope, I can't get into this. This is too bad. Um, it's just funny, unintentionally funny. Maybe it is intentional. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's there to make toys. That's why it's there. Um, so yeah, this is a sequel series to that 80s show. So this isn't a reboot or a remake. It is just a continuation with more money, essentially, with Netflix money, and it's been led by Kevin Smith, who is a big nerd. He loves the whole thing. He plays Silent Bob in the Jay and Silent Bob films. He also made Clerks. I highly recommend that. Um, he's all about the pop culture stuff. He is. He's a great guy. And this is obviously a passion project of his, and he got it greenlit. So he was like, "Well, I love this show," and maybe he's the same way as me. He's like, I wish it just looked better, sounded better, and the story and characters are more fleshed out. So that's what he did, and I think he achieved it. Um, my only experience with Masters of the Universe is that 80s film. Was it 80s or 90s? I can't remember. With Dolph Lundgren, if anybody remembers that. I had that. I had a copy of that. I recorded it off the telly. I had it on VHS um, with Skeletor, and it was that terrible one where they leave Eternia and they end up on Earth. And they're driving around in a pink car. Um, I look back at it now and it's of the times. But yeah, that was my only. That was probably my introduction to it. I might have been aware of the cartoon. I'm not sure. But then as time went by, there was even like a reboot series. I want to say early 2000s. Um, that apparently got really big praise. I never watched it. I've seen a few clips of it, but again, that had a better animation budget, and it did look more. They were trying to give origin. I think they tried to give an origin story for Skeletor, but I don't know. But yeah, this is a continuation. So, for those who don't know, because I didn't really know much, all I know of Masters of the Universe and He-Man is, look at him, he's like a barbarian. He just got this big giant sword, and he puts it up in the sky and goes, I have the power! And then he hulks out, and he's like, because he starts off as this wee little boy, he's like the prince, and he's got clothes on, and then he puts the sword up, he says, I have the power, stuff comes down, lasers shoot down, and then all of a sudden his clothes disappear, he's got new clothes, and he's freaking Dwayne the Rock Johnson. That's all I know. She's just looking at it. They're just these colourful, weird characters, and they got man at the end of their names. That's all I knew, and they actually give a really good prologue in the first episode. I think this is like 4 or 5 episodes. Again, it's really, really short, and it's done by Liam Cunningham. He was in Game of Thrones. I want to say Davos he played. He was the guy, he lost a finger or something. But he's got an awesome voice. Love him. And he just has this awesome epic voice. He voices Man of Arms. That's the guy to the right of He-Man, you can see there. And oh my god, yeah, the cast of this is incredible. I mean, like I just said, you got Liam Cunningham, or Cunningham, whatever his name is, playing Man at Arms on the right. To the left, I'm probably going to get this name wrong. Alina. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry. But she's the daughter of Man at Arms. She's voiced by Buffy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sarah Michelle Gellar. That's what she's voiced by. It's insane. And Eva Lynn, Skeletor's right-hand lady. She is voiced none other by Cersei as well. Lena Headley. How do you say it? She's awesome. She's good. She's great as well in this. And the whole reason, pretty much the one main thing I was excited for, was Mark Hamill voices Skeletor. Yes, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, also the voice of Joker. He does such a good job. Oh, I loved it. Remember what I said last week when I was talking about, because I did review that Chucky reboot, and he voices the doll Chucky, and I was expecting him to maybe put a little bit of Joker in there, yeah, really go for it. But it was still creepy, and it was still good, and he still did his own thing. In this, oh my god, he goes for it. I love it. Skeletor. He does that thing where he goes up and then he goes down in the pitch. And oh my dear, he does all those things, and it just reminds me of the Joker, but it fits Skeletor. It just fits it, and his introduction is just hilarious as well. So yeah, that's the characters, that's the voices, and the setup for this is, and like I said, they sum it up really good. They do a good job bringing people like me in. You're either a newcomer, never know nothing, or you just know little bits. So essentially, this story is centered around this planet called Eternia, which is the center of the universe, and it's the beginning of all creation. It's from here, so I'm assuming this is where the Big Bang happened. Maybe, I don't know. But like magic is made here, and it's the source of all creation and stuff. So pretty epic to start with. And every generation, it looks like this planet, this magical force or whatever, chooses a champion, and that's what makes them Hulk out and take their clothes off and dress in fur, the fur loincloth, and they got hardly anything on. They got the giant sword. And of course, in this generation, is He-Man. And only 4 people know him. No, because it's like a secret. I didn't know that. I just genuinely didn't have a clue. I just thought, oh, that's Adam. He's He-Man. When we need him, he transforms. I genuinely didn't know that it was a secret. So the only 4 people who know is Man at Arms, is Green Tiger Pet Cat Cringer, I want to say his name is Cringer. His mum and this little floaty wizard thing called Orko. And he's I actually thought he would be annoying, but he's not. He's all right. He's not too annoying. He's actually pretty sweet. Yeah, so only those four know, but then stuff happens in the first episode, and Elena, is it the Man at Arms daughter? She ends up finding out. It obviously kind of pisses her off a little bit. And then she ends up leaving, and I think months pass, maybe, or a year or two. I don't quite remember. But yeah, the story doesn't go the way you expected it to go, which I liked personally. A lot of people don't like when that happens. They expect a straightforward story for 5 episodes, but I liked it. It changed it up a bit, and yeah. So essentially, the story is Skeletor gets a hold of something in Castle Grayskull. That's it, Grayskull. That's where the source is, I think. Yeah, and he goes underground, and it's like you never realize, this is all just an illusion, and the source of everything is like this orb thingy, and it ends up breaking. I think, like magical juice ends up emptying from it or something, and stuff happens, and certain characters then have to get together to bring this energy back, because otherwise magic's going to fade away, which means life will fade away, and if Eternia dies, then the whole universe ceases to exist. It's a pretty high stakes. So they end up going around meeting certain characters who have changed. I can't give away too much because it is kind of a spoiler. All I'm going to say is a lot of middle-aged men are going to be pissed off, and it shows, because that's what I've seen over the weekend. They don't like that some of the focus, if not a lot of the focus, is on Elena. Elena, sorry. I don't think I'm pronouncing her name right. But anyway, that's not the important thing. The important thing is a lot of focus is on a woman. Oh, no. Some people I've seen have said, like, oh, this is just Kevin Smith showing another, oh, women can do it too. It's forced in. I didn't feel that, no. And if you're seeing that, then just, I don't know, lighten up. It's not called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I think that's what the show was originally called, but this is just called Masters of the Universe, Revelations. Elena learns about a revelation about He-Man. It upsets her quite a bit, considering all they've gone through over the years, and she feels kind of betrayed and lied to, so she goes off on her own. Yeah, she probably overreacts, but she ends up, sort of growing out of it, maybe. I don't know. But I liked it. It was a good, the way that they laid out the story, it's a good way to sort of revisit certain characters that you've known from the 80s. I like the design. It's great to see a bit more detail and sharpness in some of these designs. The action is brilliant. It's so well animated. And the voice acting is great. It really is. The music's awesome as well. The music's kick-ass. And you learn a bit more about these champions, of each generation, and you end up going to, like, heaven and hell of Eternia. It's like something off a heavy metal cover. It's awesome. There's some great voice talent in this as well. Oh, God, what's his name? Todd something. He's the guy who played the original Candyman. He's got a really low voice, really low and graspy, and he plays a character. I was like, ooh, I like this guy. And it even ends on a brilliant cliffhanger. It literally made me go, oh, what? I had that reaction, and I love it when a show does that. I love it when I get that reaction. That shows that I'm invested and I'm loving it. Because I watched all the 5 episodes in one sitting. I didn't bother. I just binged them. And you can do it in the evening. It's a great evening. I recommend it. But yeah, it ends, and it's just like, whoa! What's going to happen now? Just like, oh, you're going to end it there now, and I've got to wait for part 2. Yeah, they've said it's part 1, so I don't know if that means Revelation is the name of the first season, and this is just part 1, and we're going to get a part 2, which is the final part. I don't know, because it's like with our Transformers animated series they got going on with Netflix. Each season has a different subtitle. So and the fact that they said this is Revelations Part 1, I don't know. So, or unless the whole series is called Revelations, I don't know. But I want more. Please hurry up. I loved it. Um, I recommend it. I do. If you just want some fun, if you've never watched He-Man, um, there is another series on Netflix called She-Ra, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and that's very kiddie. It is, and I know people are like, "Don't say that. It's not just kiddie. There's a lot of stuff in there that's relevant to adults." Oh, yes, it is, but all of these cartoons, they're for kids. They, that's the whole point. They're there for kids, and they're there to sell toys. That's the whole point. There's even a whole documentary on Netflix that talks about it. There's loads of He-Man toys. There's loads of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys, Power Ranger toys, Thundercats toys, G.I. Joe toys. There's loads of toys, Transformer toys. And Star Wars was even made off the foundation of getting a toy line out. Again, watch the documentary on Netflix. They go to the, like, film producers, company, whoever they went to, and they're like, here, right, here's the idea we got for toys for Star Wars. If you let us do the film, then you're going to get all these toys too, and make more money. That's the whole point. And yeah, and that's what I say about She-Ra. Even though it was a good show, yeah, it was pretty, it was colourful, and it gave a good message and stuff. It was definitely for a different kind of audience. And if you want something with more action, just more 80s, just more nostalgia, then this is the one. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying that She-Ra the Princesses of Power is a crap show. I just saying I did watch it all and I did laugh. There were some moments in it I love. I mean, my God, what's the one character? Captain Sea. Is it Seahawk? I love that guy. He was awesome. He's my favorite character. But yeah, this is a totally different thing. So yeah, I haven't got a problem with a supporting female character being put at the forefront because again, this is called Masters of the Universe. It's not called He-Man Show. He-Man is just a character who's the most well-known character of that show. And also people are like, why is she made to be really muscular? What? You this is genuine now. People, mainly men, have complained that she is very muscular, and she's too muscular. Look at He-Man. Look at him. Look at all the men. You could see their muscles through their clothes. Look at Man-at-Arms. You could see his muscles through his shirt. That's how tight that shirt is. Jesus Christ. No, the man muscles are okay, but any muscles on a woman, totally not allowed. I am totally okay with it. Doesn't bother me. And I didn't go into the show. I didn't go to the show thinking, oh, I can't wait to see muscles on women. It just passes me by because I'm just watching an action fantasy series. If you're focusing on stuff like that, then you're focusing on the wrong thing. Oh God, it is. Oh, really? It doesn't annoy me. It just makes me laugh, and I kind of cringe a bit. I'm thinking, oh, they don't speak for all of us. They don't speak for all of us. They don't speak for all of us. For the love of God, please don't think they speak for all of us. Oh God, but yeah, Masters of the Universe. It was great. I loved it. I'd probably watch it again. And just the ending alone, the image and the voice and that design, I was just like, I want it. I want a picture. I need a print. Whatever. I need that on my wall somewhere. Oh, so cool. It just made me want more. But yeah. I can't think of any bad things about it, really. No, really. I can't. Nothing that would make me sort of want to talk about it, or nothing that would sort of hinder it a bit. But no, there's nothing I can really complain about. I mean, okay, some people probably listen and think, oh, he just praising the show. There's nothing to say about it. It's like, well, yeah, I'm not a flipping paid critic. I'm not doing this for a living. I'm just being honest. I mean, God, I was honest about Resident Evil, Infinite Christ, Infinite Darkness. You know, I'm honest about Masters of the Universe. I watched Resident Evil. I was bored. I was annoyed. I was not entertained. I felt like I've wasted 2 hours of my life. Masters of the Universe. I enjoyed every episode. It was great. I laughed. I liked the characters, and I got way more interested in the story. So yeah, I didn't I didn't care that a woman had muscles. Oh my god. Oh, she was awesome as well. I liked her, and I liked her friend as well, who she was with. I can't remember her name, sorry, but yeah, she was fun. Um, and yeah, all the other characters, they just had character. Yes, character, and that's what I liked about Kevin Smith. Um, there's definitely one aspect of this show that middle-aged men will not like. Um, but tough. I liked it. I didn't care. I was enjoying myself. I still got what I expected. Um, yeah. Again, the action was great. It looked great. It was well animated, and oh, I just can't wait for more. It's another new favorite show. I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. What else can I say? I have the power. I could say that, but yeah, I haven't got the sword. I do like the sword though, and I like the two sword designs. That was really cool. Um, yeah. So yeah, to sum it up, don't watch Resident Evil: Infinite Darkness. Watch Masters of the Universe Revelation. That's your homework. Do it. Just do it now, and then come back and let me know what you thought. And come back tomorrow where, yeah, Let's Plays are back. Sonic Forces. Yeah. Oh god. Okay. Well, yeah, guys. Thanks for listening. And if you liked and you want to see some more, then please give a like and a follow. Thanks very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.